Hi, I'm Drew.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to Drewling Samantics. Sam, mate, Sam.
I'm here. Cheers,
Come on,
mate.
sit. Yeah, drink your beer. Come on. I'm excited, mate. No, seriously. I haven't drunk too much coffee. What?
I get it. Look, I know I am that special to you. I know you get this excited to see me every week. I understand, but don't worry, I'm here. See, look, here I am. Hello.
Lovely. Now shut up. It's not you. No, I mean, I get excited. I get excited to see you, and you are, far and away, deeply important to me. However, it's a guest week this week, and I am very excited because it's a long overdue reunion with a gentleman I worked with. I think it's 39 years ago we did a show together.
Do you want me to put that in perspective, mate? Can you guess what I'm going to say?
Yeah, you weren't even bloody born, were you? No.
Last time you saw this man, I was but a sparkle in my father's eye. I wasn't even that at that point.
I know, you weren't even a twinkle, were you, mate? No. We did a show together, and I just one of the nicest men, uber talented with a particular talent and skill. I mean, I just. Oh! Is he there? Yeah, is he there?
No, he's not quite here yet, but I can understand your excitement because reunions are great and not seeing someone for a long time. I mean, obviously, I know you've kept in contact and chatted.
Yes. Oh, yes.
On the regular or whenever you can, but to actually find the time to see someone becomes very difficult in our industry, and particularly we meet a lot of people that you sort of cross paths with, and then you go separate ways, and you either never really see them again, or you don't see them again for a long time. So it's really important and really rewarding when you get these opportunities. And equally, obviously, I've done my research. This is not a man that I know personally, but I'm very excited to meet him, and I've done some reading up and stuff. And there is one particular job which I'm going to ask him about later on, which probably my favourite thing of any guest we've ever had. And that's saying something. We're now at, 160 odd episodes, something like that. Not far off anyway. So we must have had, give or take, 60 guests, something.
Wow.
And so of all of those, I think this gentleman who's about to join us probably has one of, if not my favourite story from a job, or certainly can talk about one of my favourite jobs of all time. So yeah, I'm not excited to the same level or for the same way perhaps that you are, but I'm certainly excited to meet him. So yeah, good.
Right. Well, and on saying that,
here he is.
He's landed. Yeah, after all this time. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's please, Sam, please meet the wonderful Mr. Roman Stefanski. And good morning, and how wonderful to see you again, Roman Stefanski, ladies and gentlemen. Sam, meet my very, very dear friend who I haven't seen for donkey's years, but we follow each other closely on Facebook and all those other social medias. Roman, thank you so much for joining us, and how lovely to see you.
Good morning, and it's a lovely surprise, so we bumped into each other just a few months ago, shall we say, and yes, what a huge gap of time.
I know, ridiculous.
And in the professional world as well, so amazing.
Do you remember how long ago it is?
Well, we're talking 40 years ago.
39 years ago since we worked together on Little Arrow Meets the Grizzlies. And I still talk fondly about it.
Excellent, because it was, shall I say, memorable in a way, because it was quite, and delightful. Shall I remind you of one lovely incident?
I'm just going to say before we leap into I think I know what you're going to say. Roman, meet Sam, my podcast partner and dear friend. And for all those people that sadly do not know you, because there is a huge Roman Stefanski shaped hole in their lives, plug that hole for us and just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you come from, who are you, and then you can tell that wonderful story.
My name is Roman Stefanski, and I was born this way, in so much that I have mixed heritage, Polish father, Swedish mother, but born in Ealing in London. So
Where I live.
that I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I'm more than trilingual because there is a bit, schoolboy's French and, of course, a bit of working in Spanish as well. So yeah, I'm multiculturally minded, shall we say. Grew up on the technical side, did all the O's and A's, and finally got into Salford University with biomedical electrical engineering. I couldn't get past the first year exams, crying out loud. But it was an excellent course. But university or college is an excellent thing to experience because really in that year, yes, you are distracted and you should be concentrating on your studies. But OMG, there is so much. I even understood politics from that because I got co-opted onto the union, the Students' Union Council. And all of a sudden I realized, so this is Parliament. And here we've got both sides of the line and things like that. So the education, as well as the societies, but the education input from that college year was amazing. And of course, you leave home, so you can lead the life you wish to lead. That is superb. But having failed those first year exams, I then pursued what I, in a way, always wanted to pursue, and that was theatre, being an actor. And I attended the Drama Studio London 1 year course, post-grad course. I haven't even graduated. DSL is brilliant in so much it being a 1 year course, it showed you the toolbox. So it's accepted you as your person, as opposed to the other big ones where they wipe out your character, your person, and now build you up again. With DSL, it was that no, okay, you are who you are with all the qualities you have, but here's a toolbox. Open that up, and you'll find these things helps you to take it further, make it realer, and all that sort of thing, make you fitter. And there I had a bit of Edwina Dorman was my mime teacher at the college. Then I'm mime orientated, which then and it was at the college that I met up with my partner. So yes, we had been together for many years. But so then we formed the mime troupe, and then my partner got auditioned for Polka theatre. And he got in, and so he was doing this 1 year tour thing. And then we appeared in a mime festival at the ICA when we had the mime festivals. The second international mime festival, I think. So Joe Seelig saw us.
Wow.
And Richard Gill came to see Gerald, and then he saw me, of course. And I've had a bloody lucky life. I've hardly jobs have come to me, and Richard Gill phones me up and says, "Oh, would you like to join the company?" Yeah. And in a way, I go where the wind blows, and it hasn't farted since I landed at Polka. It's been wonderful. It's a small company, but with a huge heart, fantastic beliefs, creates quality work for young audiences, TYA, Theatre for Young Audiences. It's a superb venue. It's building based. It had touring schedule, which closed down, so it's more building based now. Tours will be spontaneous, depending if there's a producer that comes along and wishes to promote it, which there has been. Again, Roman has been to Brazil, to Singapore, to Hong Kong, to Finland, to Spain, to Australia. All work that's come my way, being invited to do here, there. And it's all focused with theatre for young audiences. I can direct older things, but I'm a big fish in a smaller pond, I think. And indeed, the salaries are small as well, but that's okay. And I think that's been my life. I added to that with starting to be vintage. I'm at the age now where, yes, I want to share. And so I've done colleges. He's 15, Alva, but didn't close because of me. Uh, and master classes here and there. So, yeah, I'm fortunate. I'm gifted. I'm sitting on a silver spoon, if not a golden one. I'm very content. That's it.
So not
I
much then,
mean,
really. It's been quite quiet as a life as they go. No, I mean phenomenal, and obviously talking about Polka, Polka is now your big baby, shall we say? The biggest part of your theatre immersion or your biggest involvement is being one of the directors at Polka Theatre.
Yeah.
What do you? And it's a difficult question to ask, I get, but do you get as much thrill from being involved, perhaps from a not forefront point of view, as you do from being a performer? Do you get different elements, but are they comparable? Would you
Yes.
say?
Yes. Yes, of course you do. I'm multifaceted in so much. Yes, I'm a performer as well. So I'm a mime performer, a puppeteer, and I direct puppets. As well as, yes, as well as a theatre director. There are pluses and minuses all around, and in a way, if you audition and get into show, the directors are scared of other directors being in their cast. And it isn't, I'm there obviously to support, but no way am I there to interfere. And what's a joy is that it's not my worry, it's your worry. I know what you're worrying about. So I can just concentrate on me, my parts in the show. I'm a cogwheel now, as opposed to looking after the whole clock. And that is such a relief. So I do enjoy those sort of breaks. In the world of puppetry, it's a magical element. How things come alive in people's hands, and it's only a watering can turned upside down. No, it's Mr. Gardner who is going to, these characters, and in that way, is it Buddhism or something? There is a soul, there is a spirit in almost anything you pick up, and if you believe in it, your audience will believe in it too. And we're already in imagination. We're already on an ethereal journey. And what I teach as well, actors, not actors, but students. It is storytelling. We are storytellers, whichever form. Ballet, for me, I come from the era of Margot Fonteyn, and when you saw going to stage, yes, but when you saw any of the recorded work, the woman was acting her soul out, telling a damn good story. Jazz players, they are playing from the heart with their stories. So any way of storytelling, you've got to tell the story the best way you can, and that is what is works and is exciting.
I remember we met at Polka, and I was also inspired by the wonderful Richard Gill, who sit there. I remember we had those meetings on Monday mornings, and the entire company, everyone gathered in a room, and he never failed to come in and say something that made you go, "Wow, I never thought of that before,"
Yeah.
or a little note, or he would, and he would always talk to you.
Yes.
And he would talk to you, he would engage with you. Whenever you met Richard around the building, it would be, "Good morning, Andrew. How about blah? I've been thinking about something." And you'd go, "Oh, why didn't I think of that?" And we go back and I'd bring it into the rehearsal room and say, "Oh, I was having a conversation with Richard about something," and you would say, "Yeah, well, let's do it. Let's try it."
Yeah.
And incredibly passionate and gently, I always thought he was gently powerful man. He had an aura about him that was,
Definitely.
he just energy. It was energy he had, and I mean, he was he when we did Little Arrow Meets the Grizzlies 39 years ago, and I trotted off on tour. I mean, we did the producers run, and we ran, and then there was all the conversation. And I remember him, and it's the story that you probably remember. He sent me home to shave my legs, pretty much all my body, because I was playing a 12-year-old Indian boy, and it's probably one of the most hysterical moments of my life. My then my then girlfriend, my then partner, just watched me stand in a bath, shave myself, and apply, I think it was Imac in those days, to my extremities, and scrape the hair from my body. And then went in on the Monday morning, and he went, "Ah, yes, laughter will go up 10 points on the Richter scale." And he wasn't wrong. But yeah, he was. But
Well,
was,
hold on. Linking to that incident, I believe you were using Nair as opposed to Imac.
oh, you're quite right.
That you were, in effect, now you're applying it onto your leg. And you found the best way to do it was putting your leg up on the toilet rim, on the bowl rim, and somehow scraping it off, etc. And the slippiness of it meant that your foot slipped into the toilet and you nutted the cistern tank in front of you. And next thing you came in with this horizontal line on your forehead. What's that?
Right, so that's one that you've kept from me, Drew, and kept from our audience. 150 something episodes, and you've not mentioned that one. So thank you, Roman, for bringing it up, because he's not alluded to that little gem.
But and these are these gems of moments that we have, and
it was so funny. You're exactly right. Yes, that is exactly what happened to me. And
how come I remember that for 39 years?
I don't. Yes, I don't.
It's easy actually because I keep relating. But the other thing, I was so impressed with you, and I think you are the only example. You always turned up in a crisp, freshly ironed shirt with, folded, crisp. Wow, this, what a pro. What a lovely professional attitude. There you go.
And if for those people that are unfortunately not watching on YouTube today, I have to say, Roman, that is one heck of a shirt you're wearing there. Summer reflected in an article of clothing, if ever I saw it.
Beautiful. Desperately trying to encourage Summer to stay, come, be bright.
Yes. Yeah, well, we may have had 1 or 2 days of summer this year, so that might be it, unfortunately. But no, you are certainly brightening up the screens of those watching on YouTube. And you've brightened my day by telling me yet another wonderful story about this incompetent numpty sat opposite me. But yeah, so you had the fortune, whichever way you choose to look at it, of working with my dear friend Drew. But obviously, as I said, Polka is such a massive part of your life and has been for a long, long time. But alongside that, there have been the other jobs, as you say, some puppetry. And I actually, as you know, I've done my research, and there was one job in particular that I managed to find hiding out there that you'd mentioned. And I'm not even going to allude to any part of it. I want you to tell the story from the off about how you became a certain beloved TV commercial character. Does that give you enough to know where I'm going with this?
Yes, it does.
Please do take the floor and go, because this...
One has to, every now and then, one has to put on this yellow fur suit. Again, it's the string of events. It's Polka Theatre originally was called Polka Children's Theatre with Actors and Puppets. A huge title, which then condensed down to Polka Theatre. And through Richard Gill and Polka, indeed, I specialised with puppetry, etc. And I've got a knack for it and a skill with that movement and manipulation combined, which also makes, and from the movement side, it also makes me a skin artist. This is not adult skin work, but theatrical and what do you call it, imagination, say some monsters and things like that. So the people that are inside those costumes depicting goblins or whatever. Now, I've been training actors. For me, I can make any actor a puppeteer, sort of. As long as you have rhythm, beat, feel music, feel movement, that's what I need in you to guide you into puppetry. So through my shows, yes, I've trained up quite a few actors. So now I also had auditioned years back for TV series, which I got, and I worked with Elsa Burke. So we were in the cast, and that was another children's series depicting folk tales from around the world and acting them out. Pat Kiesel was the director producer for that. And so Elsa carried on with her work. I stayed at Polka. And she joined up with Jim Henson organization. And so every now and then I'd be getting a phone call from, oh, can you recommend any puppeteers, etc.? Or can you recommend this, that, and the other? And I'll go through my Rolodex in those days. I think it's something different electronically, and fish out various names. And so there was one call that came in. This is another film, though. One call that came in, Being a Bear. So I went through the card and said, by the way, I want to be a bear as well. So I put my name in. And also because it was workshop auditions, and I love workshop auditions. You know, that's where you have group work together, create something together, and you can let the directors suss out who's what and things like that. So via that, I think I got onto the Henson books, shall we say, and again, Robert Tigner, in a way, had come up through my ranks, and he's mightily involved with Henson's. And so the phone call also came in. Oh, we need somebody to play this yellow furry monster thing. Can you do it? I couldn't because I was tied up with productions. Somebody else got it. Caithen got it. But lo and behold, a year later, oh, can you do it? And this time, yes, I can do it. And so I did it. And so now I am dressed up as a lovely, cuddlesome, active honey monster and appeared in various episodes. But again, that's a phone call to me, not me phoning around auditioning. That's been my luck. Not only that, I then phoned Gerald's agent to say, my partner's agent, to say, would you care to look after my account? What? Yeah, honey monster. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I've even got an agent without, chasing,
So there we go. What essentially we're able to sort of gain from that story is to say to any budding performers out there who are on the grind and are hoping, if you keep working really hard, you never know. One day you may meet someone, and through that person, then meet someone else, and then through that person, end up advertising cereal dressed as a monster. What more could you possibly want in life?
But that in a way, that has always been the luck, misluck of in the theatre world, in the acting world, in our fantasy world, shall we say. Kismet does happen. Lady Luck does kiss you occasionally. These things do happen. Having said that, you can't sit there and wait. No, you do have to slog. I am fortunate. I'm definitely one of the lucky buggers. And I have been involved in art, in theatre, since leaving drama college in 1977. So that ain't bad record.
That's no, yeah. And I mean, and it is because not to blow smoke up your backside, you are enormously skilled at what you do. You're also passionate about passing that on. I mean, I know when you directed me, it was a wonderful exercise in just learning every day and playing. I believe in play. I believe in every time you go in the rehearsal room, it doesn't matter. We don't actually have to finish the process until we've finished the run of the play. It continues. But I mean, puppetry and you taught me an enormous about puppetry, and I perform in a puppet booth now, telling stories that my wife and I write and present stuff, and I love it. It's so because I worked with a gentleman who's long since left us, a guy called Ray Roberts, who was a wonderful puppeteer, and we did puppets and storytelling together. And he said, I don't know about you. He said, but you've got your hand up there, and your character is. And he said, I can't take my eyes off it. He said, I'm fascinated. He said, because, and you drop it down and you take it off. He said, and it dies then. But as soon as you put it on, you bring it to life. And you taught me that. It's like, it never stops moving. If you breathe, it breathes all the time. What makes a good puppeteer? What, I mean, apart from, you say, the rhythm and that story, what that there are, I mean, there's some people can and some people can't. What makes a good puppeteer?
It is, a good puppeteer, manipulation, the technical side, movement, coordination, things like that makes it better. But it is the belief, the storytelling, the belief in your soul that this thing here is actually alive and looking to camera. Okay, yeah, there's camera, thank you. Is alive, and it has. You're taught character analysis. You're taught your research into your character. Well, I'm sorry, this is a character. This needs research. You need to know the subtext. You need to know what's gone on. Where did it come from, etc. And that is the pitter-patter that's at the back of your brain that will keep this alive, as well as breathing and talking. And it is being able to dissect yourself and be able to have this schizophrenic side where there's me and there's you, and we're working together on this. That is if it's two-handed like that. If it's solo, in other words, that character, as you playboard stuff, it's on its own, well, then you are going through your energy, your spirit, your story is going through your arm, through your hand, through your fingers, past your fingers, into the object that is alive in front of you and in front of the audience. And it is hilarious. No, it's mystical that there have been some playboard shows, tour, etc. And it is actually amazing that you'll see the puppet going through its thing, and it's not there. And you see it again with perhaps somebody else doing it. It's doing the same moves, but it's alive. What is it that's changed mechanically from one to the other? And it is that the first person was doing, shopping, yes, after, right, once the show has ended, I need to go shopping, etc. So the actor was going, or puppeteer was going through their own world while on stage, supposedly creating the show for somebody else. The discipline is that you keep the character, you keep that alive. As soon as your brain goes off somewhere else and autopilot is happening above, a gauze drops in, the air fills with smoke, it disappears. That for me is the most important thing. I mean, I attended international shows, theatre for young audiences, Assetege, part of that group. And in Yugoslavia, in Šibenik, beautiful ancient town, they have an international festival annually, and we attend with our shows or as visitors, guests. And there was a Finnish woman, and she was doing The Little Prince in a market square, at the corner of a market square, out in the open. She had one of those fold-out, what do you call them, trellisy screens, right? And a few things on there. And out came the little bird and all that sort of thing. She's speaking in Finnish. In Croatia, in an international scene, with lots of little children around her. Finnish. Not one of our leading languages. We were enthralled. We were captured. The 3-year-old is sitting there, listening to her and watching her. And again, goosebumping. The magic of her storytelling came across, and didn't matter it was in a different language. You felt for her, with her, and you went on the journey with her. And it was, again, this is a memory I have of that woman. With all the other things I do, that woman was absolutely brilliant. And so for me, most important is that storytelling, belief in your stories. And that sort of thing.
I had a similar experience. I was in East Berlin and I had and my then wife was teaching there, and I trotted off one morning, and I found myself it was a marionette theatre, and I watched the show, and it was beautiful. And then they afterwards, I mean, it was stunning. I mean, these it was just glorious. And then they had a little sort of side bar, if you like, and the guy stood there and he took out three ping pong balls and he just put two dots and a little smile, two dots and a sad face, and then two dots and an ooh on these ping pong balls. And my German's not great, but and he was just telling the story and moving these ping pong balls and holding one and then putting one in the crook of his arm that moved his arm, and I didn't understand a word. I was just entranced because and if one of them disappeared, it's like, where's it gone? Well, oh, truly, and I think it was about 20 minutes, and it was in the foyer of the thing, and he just performed this little piece on the box on the table of the box office, and the crowd, everybody that had been in the theatre was suddenly standing in the foyer watching him just playing and telling a story, and I mean silence, utter silence, apart from laughter. And it just was, he just brought them alive. He brought three ping pong balls alive. It was beautiful,
Yeah.
utterly
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it is a skill. But if I keep when I teach students, I surprise them because I say, you are a puppeteer. You puppeteer, don't you? No. Come on, can't you remember? Yeah. Oh, okay, I wasn't there, but I know you puppeteer. Well, you didn't have Cindy come through and little cuddly bear come through and sit them down and had the tea party, and that was cold, that was sweet, and your parents had to watch, and never did that. Oh yes, it's in you. It is in your soul, in your spirit. So it's not touch a puppet. No, it's bring back the joy that you had in creating these worlds. And showing them again. So that is what was. The other incident about Puppet is that I've just done a show. I was performing on the Polka stage, and I'd just done Towser's Big Surprise. So the fluffy sort of dog puppet. And at the end of the show, we were setting the stage, and the kids were still there, and they were, oh, I want to see Towser, I want to see Towser. Sick of away, children. So I go backstage, and puppets and booths and things hang upside down. Glove puppets hang upside because then all you do is you slip your hand in, unhook it, and it's there. Roman decided to just pick up the puppet and ring and walk to the front of the stage to the children. And as soon as I put my hand into the glove puppet and brought it up, Roman disappeared. Puppet was the B and N girl.
Yeah.
I had been rudely destructive because I really pissed off on the go home. But as soon as I switched on, and in front of your eyes, there's the thing hanging upside down. It's a doll. Put my hand in there, bring it up, and all of a sudden, oh, Towser, we love you, and all that sort of thing.
It's magic.
I think it's sort of, I was going to say that the thing for me, the most memorable puppetry shows or shows with puppetry in them that I remember, it's about forgetting that the operator, the puppeteer, is even there. I mean, obviously there are some elements, and I would use Avenue Q as probably as a good example, because it's probably the most adult side of puppetry that kind of exists to an extent. Some of the puppeteers are behaving as characters at the same time as operating puppets, which is absolutely so. At that point, you need to be able to see both. But actually, most of the time, the puppeteers are just the puppet, the character they are playing. Yes, they wear black. No, they don't sort of dissolve and you can still see them, but you kind of forget they're there. You see, it's not like ventriloquism. They're not trying to hide the fact that they are moving this puppet or speaking, but you kind of just, they're part of the scenery almost, and you are, as you say, captivated by this character they are creating, and that is where the skill lies. Certainly from an audience perspective,
Yeah,
you want to forget that they're not real themselves, the puppet.
Yeah, but wearing blacks, today's style is we less wear blacks. Not you can't hide it, flaunt it, but You wear neutral, just something belonging to the show in a neutral sense. So you're not going out in gold and glitter, but you'll be in muted colors or whatever it is. And in a costume that, if it's step in time, perhaps you are flat cap things, but your energy, your focus has to go to the puppet. I think I always say the difference between a puppeteer and an actor is that an actor is selfish, puppeteer selfless, and as you say, the focus goes there. Avenue Q had a problem there because all us puppeteers went up for auditions, etc., and in effect, the producers needed more reassurance with finances, i.e., they cast West End Wendy's instead that had to be trained into puppetry. Yeah. So Nigel Plaskett had the job of training them up. But the West End Wendy's, of course, but they're the stars, that's what you come to see. So they broke the cardinal rule, which worked okay, and in a way for the audience, for the West End audience, yes, it was fun and most enjoyable. But the Act Two, where the guy is suicidal, you didn't feel empathy with that character because we had split focus going on all the time. So there was the character, and there's me. We are both playing his role.
Yeah.
Who do I look at? Who
What and why? Why is either one of you here?
Yeah, and that, shall we say, is for me a fundamental problem with Q. But it was entertaining. I laughed, I enjoyed it. But by breaking that cardinal rule, we definitely lost emotional investment, and therefore empathy and sympathy would be lacking.
Yeah, it's interesting to sort of look at the different levels, isn't it? And where they're sort of targeted and where you're given the freedom and where perhaps, as you say, that element of finance and it being a business sort of comes in and has an effect too. But Roman, it's been absolutely fascinating chatting to you.
What? Is
that it? Well, sadly, we know just how busy you are. You've got to go and stick your hand up something in a minute, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In the background is an operating table.
We're all blurred out, yeah.
Yeah, blurred out. But there's the operating. I've converted an ironing board, so I put a slab of ply on it, holes for the angle points to clip in, and that can be my touring operating table for puppetry emergency operations. Stand away 500 joules.
Yeah.
So yes, you're right. I'm supposed to be fixing a puppet now.
Well, we are going to let you get back to surgery very shortly. But before you go, we have a tradition on Drewling Samantics. We love to finish with a very quick anecdote or story, and there must be, from your so enormously varied and entertaining career, there must be a little thing that you can tell us just to leave our listeners with.
Yeah, I mean, again, polka. But being the director, we're not having understudy setups, we can't afford it. So the buck stops here if an artist is unable to perform. So I took over Erica's pool job. She was being Queen Ant in one of the shows. And she's always whinging at me that, the costume, I mean, you can't dance in that thing. And so she was ill, so I stepped in. And come the dance, I was saying, what's the problem, Erica? I can't see it. And then after the show, Annie Wardrobe came and okay, etc. And did you mean to leave the Queen's bum off? So, the Queen Ant obviously has a huge back, not thorax, whatever it is, abdomen. And Roman had delightfully forgot to put it on, so now I'm in my brown lycra. Some anti-top, but nothing bum-wise. Wow. It's so much easier dancing like that.
So you were but
so much
easier
ant
by the sound of it.
Oh, every day is fun. And like even shopping, I love supermarkets because the children, they have a tantrum. And it's the adults that don't understand their child. But the child is saying, you do this. Well, so the child is helping and doing that. I'm doing wrong. Yeah, but what's going on? All that sort of thing.
Amazing.
Points of view, different points of view.
But different way of seeing the world, and thank you so much for sharing your joyous, playful way of looking at the world. This has not been long enough, so you're going to have to come back.
Oh, part two.
You've got to come back. Tell us more, and give us some more of that the joy that I mean. And as I say it again, you've inspired me over the years. I've remembered your teaching. I remembered your direction. And I remember the joy of playing. So please come back and play with us again, because it's been a joy to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thanks for asking me. As I said, as you see, switch me on and I'll talk. So
that's what we want, and that's what our listeners and viewers want. And we're sure they've all been overjoyed listening and watching you. So Roman, thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon. As
See you soon. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you.
What an absolutely fascinating, entertaining, and lovely man. The wonderful Mr. Roman Stefanski. A man I'd not met before. And to be honest, in the last 4 decades, you've barely met, but have obviously been in contact for a long time. Just incredibly knowledgeable, incredibly passionate, and incredibly entertaining. I think that kind of sums him up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, from the first moment we met, we had so much fun, and that's that's something else that we forget about in this business. That it is like you said, it's a hard slog. You do have to do the slog, but there is an enormous amount of fun to be had doing one's job. When you get all the shit out of the way, and it is a lovely, fantastic way of earning a living and actually just spending your day. I do remember days in Polka Theatre of just going there, and it's just a joy of a place to be in. And you think, I'm doing wonderful work, good work, important work, but I'm also having a hell of a lot of fun doing it. It was a joyous time, and he's and the late great Richard Gill, who was started Polka going, and gave it. They're two wonderful men to be around. They just and they also, the other thing about Roman is he laughs a lot. I like it. He just giggles all the time. It's just hysterical. So, but he's got to come back because there's so much more to talk about.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And who knows, maybe we can even get him to, for our YouTube viewers, get him to bring some of his characters along with him. Ooh. I mean, I'd be all for voting for him turning up and just being dressed as the honey monster throughout the entire episode. But I'm not sure that's gonna appeal to quite so many people. But yeah, I mean, as you say, he clearly loves what he does, and we've said it numerous times before, and in fact we've even done episodes about some of the more bigger highlights of our careers. But if you enjoy what you do, you will never work a day in your life, and that doesn't mean that you're not working hard and not giving 110% and not doing that slog and putting everything into it. But it just means that you get joy from the process as much as you do from that sort of final output. And he is an absolute advocate for that. And talking about things with the passion that he does, you can clearly see there is a man who loves what he does above all else.
Absolutely. Yeah. Genius. Wonderful stuff.
And from one man who loves what he does to two blokes who love what they're doing, should we do some more podcasting next week?
Why not? I mean, if you like, mate, I'll put a great big yellow furry, skin on for you. If it cheers you up, if it puts a smile on your little face, I'm willing to do that for you.
You could do that, but who's going to fill the other half of it?
That's true. It's like a double-decker bus. There'll be a floppy top.
It's like in cartoons where you see kids trying to sneak into like movies or buy something they're not allowed, and they're sat on each other's shoulders. We need a second Drew to make one full-sized person to go in a skin suit. Have you, on the side note, have you ever done any skins work?
I have. Yeah. I worked for a wonderful company called Rainbow, and I was the Easter Bunny. I was Taz, the Tasmanian Devil.
Really?
Yes, opening a Warner Brothers cinema,
Wow.
a multiplex up in Manchester. And yes, I was Taz. We had various Warner Brothers cartoon characters, Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, and I was Taz, the Tasmanian Devil, in this huge egg-shaped costume made of fiberglass, and furry feet and everything. It was great fun. And it just sat on my shoulders, and it was fiberglass covered in fur, and I could move around, and it was very light, but it was really hard and really solid. And for some reason, there's always a bloke showing off to his girlfriend. He decided he was going to punch Taz, the Tasmanian Devil, and he threw a punch. I think if he didn't break fingers, he dislocated something, because he just, hey, look at this, love, bang, and then he went, oh Christ! It was like, yes, it's fiberglass under here, mate. I was just roaring, but yeah, wow. I did. I played Bart Simpson in a shopping centre with a big skateboard. I was on this big sort of 5-foot long skateboard. Brilliant fun.
Wow.
Yeah. I tell you what, it's hard work, because you're 20 minutes in the skin and then 20 minutes out of, and the people doing it, some of them were I was sort of literally thrown in these costumes, but some of them are extremely skillful. It's not as easy as you think.
No.
And to bring to life something that's a good 2 foot taller than you. It's good fun.
Mate, but to be honest with you, I know exactly what that's like, because every day I bring to life something that's 2 foot taller than you. So, and on that note, and on that cheerful note, it's been an absolute pleasure having Roman on today. Really has. Next week, it's just you and me, but we'll do our best to be just as entertaining and see what we can do. No puppetry, just pillocks. How about that?
Yeah, my hands are going nowhere near you. Right there.
Absolutely not. Quickly,
on that note,
get cancelled again. See you next time, people. Take it easy.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks again for watching this episode of Drewling Samantics.
Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video.
Don't forget, we're also available as audio only. Just search Drewling Samantics in any good podcast app. And please support us on social media. All our links and handles are on screen now.
We love welcoming new followers and subscribers, so why not share with your family and friends so they can join in too? Thanks very much. See you next time.